Okay, what's up guys? Eric Thayne here from Cinema Mastery, and we're coming at you with another cinematography breakdown. I'm doing this live on YouTube, actually, which I've not done before, so we'll see how this goes. But this should be a fun one. Okay, so basically, I'm going to be showing you a scene that I shot, when was this? Sometime last year, from the luxury hotel property in Park City, Utah. Not the same one that we talked about last time. This is a different one, but in the same city. And this is basically a night exterior scene. We've got a couple in a hot tub, kind of hanging out in the hot tub at night at blue hour. And so I'm going to kind of walk you through how we lit that, how we kind of used the natural light, but then also supplemented that natural light to kind of help the scene feel a little bit more dynamic and more fun. So let me go ahead and just show you some clips from the scene to start off with. Basically, so you know kind of what we're working with. We've got this couple in the hot tub here, and that's not working very well. Okay, here, maybe it'll play. There we go. So you got the water, couple hanging out in the hot tub with a couple of champagne glasses. And we've got this really nice blue light coming from our blue hour, and then a little kicker with the orange there, kind of motivating some window light there. Okay, so there's some of our clips. You kind of get the idea. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So our first shot here, essentially we've just got a shot of the horizon. This is one of those shots that weren't really planned, and I kind of, while I was shooting, just kind of saw this. Again, we're shooting this early in the morning. Actually, we're trying to create the look of a nighttime scene, but a lot of times you can shoot early in the morning as well to get that same look. And so this is the sun coming up in the east. You can see light just starting to come over the horizon. Again, just like the last video I did, we're sitting there, we went out there when it was dark. We're sitting there waiting for the light to get right in order to shoot this scene. So we get everything set up so that we're ready to go, waiting for the light ratios to look just right with the sky and our lights. And then we're hitting record and going for it, okay? So we've got light coming up over the horizon. Pretty basic idea here, what's going on. Basically, we're just shooting at blue hour, which is that hour before sunrise, and or the hour after sunset. Some people call it magic hour. But it kind of gives you this really nice blue look that you're seeing here, which is really pretty, very luxurious looking, especially when you're doing a commercial like this for a luxury hotel. We're trying to really push that luxury, and this can really help with that blue look. And so you can kind of see that coming over the horizon. This that you're seeing here, just so you know, is we've got a piece of glass in front of the lens. Just a really subtle effect that kind of adds some texture to it, makes it look really interesting. And you'll see a little bit more of that as we go throughout the video. Moving on to the next shot. Now you can kind of see what's happening here. So you can see now we've still got that light coming from the horizon. You can see a little bit of that glass as well here. It's kind of covering our talent like that. Basically, I've got a piece of like a glasses lens from some glasses that I popped out of some $1 glasses at the dollar store, and I've got that just kind of hanging in front of the lens a little bit, just to kind of give it this little subtle effect. We did a lot of that throughout this video because we're kind of going for this dreamy effect, something like this luxury, like hanging out at this hotel, having a good time, just making it look like a dream. And so we're using effects like that to kind of create some interesting looks with the video. And then we've got our couple here, of course, in the hot tub. Now, what I want to do here is actually just draw a little overhead map of how this is lit. We've got them on a deck, essentially, overlooking the resort. Okay, so they're on the deck. Here's the door that kind of comes out to the deck. The hot tub is sitting at an angle like this. And then we've got them sitting in this corner right here, okay? And now we've got a window over here, which we're going to be using. There's another window over here, which we're not using. And this is the basic setup. So we're shooting at blue hour, okay? And that's the first important thing is if you guys know me, you know that I like to shoot with a lot of natural light. Basically, my philosophy with lighting is shoot in the right location, shoot at the right time of day, get everything, like all the cards in your favor, and then it's important to have the skills with lighting in order to supplement the light to make it look like you want to kind of go for your vision, because the natural light's not always going to give you exactly what you want. And so you need to be able to, like, you can do so much with natural light, but you still need to be able to know how to use your lights to create the looks that you want when the natural light doesn't give you what you want, okay? And so in this situation, we've got all of this really nice blue light coming in and flooding the scene. But if the whole scene was just blue, it wouldn't be quite as interesting and wouldn't have as much dynamic to it. And so we decided to add this orange kicker light here. And basically what we've got is inside this room, so, past this window, there's another room right here. Okay. And we've got a 4-foot quasar tube. So 4 foot, we'll just put a Q. Okay, 4-foot quasar tube, which is just an LED tube. And we've got it inside this room bouncing up off the ceiling. Okay? And so basically what's happening there is we're flooding that room with light and then allowing that light to pass through the window and then hit our talent here. And so you're seeing this little kick of orange light on them here. Now the reason why we did this is because of something called motivating light. Okay? When you are coming up with lighting, rather than just putting a key light on your subject and saying, okay, they're lit, and just blasting them with light, instead of that, we're actually thinking about, well, where would the light naturally be coming from? And this is called motivating your light. It's creating lighting that actually feels natural in the space, feels like it's coming from a place. And we wanted the light to feel like it was coming from the window onto our talent from the hotel room. Okay, rather than just having a light hitting them that doesn't make any sense. If somebody analyzed it and were to look at it and say, well, where is that light coming from? That doesn't make any sense. Instead, we're getting the right kind of light. And so by putting that light inside the room and allowing it to bounce off the ceiling and then flood the room and then come out the window, we're getting this really nice, soft looking window light coming out of the window, which gives us the look that it naturally would coming from window. So when you look at this scene, you can tell that that light is coming from a window. Okay, it looks like there's just light in the window, but in reality, we actually set up that light and set it up there. Okay, and that's what's happening here. You're seeing some reflections of that right here, over here on the hot tub, and it just plays off really nicely with the hot tub just because everything's wet, and so now you're getting reflections happening in different places, and it's really nice. One of the tricky things that we were dealing with when shooting this is that because the light's coming from this direction, it's lighting up our talent here really nice, but then her shadow is kind of getting in the way on his face. You can kind of see it here actually, how her shadow is running down his face like that and blocking that light from his face. And so we had to do a little bit of work with the blocking in order to keep her head further back and his a little bit further forward. We kind of cheated some of those angles as well in order to get the light looking nice, but it's still like looking really nice here, so no problems. Moving on, here's another just a different angle, kind of shooting towards the light, and so now you're seeing that warm light. Lost my brush here. Here we go. So you're seeing that warm light coming onto her face and neck here. Really pretty. And then also we're getting these really awesome reflections in the champagne glasses. Okay. So we've got these little pieces of orange happening. Obviously, orange and blue are complementary colors. And so, we're doing that for a reason. And then you'll notice here, as you look this direction, we've got this really nice soft light coming from the sky. Because the sun's not up yet, it's still below the horizon. Basically, the sun is lighting up the entire sky, and that entire sky is becoming a giant source for our talent. And so now we've got this really nice light coming in and we've got this really nice soft light on her, and then also kind of wrapping around our male talent here as well. Okay, you can see more on her shoulder here, and it's just looking really, really nice. Moving on, I wanted to show this one because this is kind of interesting. Is that where we're at? Yeah, okay. So this is the last one, just to show you kind of the reflections that are happening. So we're getting some of these shots as well. Obviously, light reflecting off of water creates these really interesting looks, and so we've got all these little, all this bokeh happening in the back here. We've got the reflections, and then where it's out of focus, it's all bokeh and creating this really interesting look, and then we've got her hand kind of in front of that. So that's basically all that's happening here. One other thing that I wanted to mention, we missed this one. Okay, so one other thing that I wanted to mention is that here's some more of those reflections like I was talking about, which is really pretty. You've got all this stuff, this bokeh happening back here. You've got this guy here, and then of course our reflections on the water. And then we're kind of supplementing that as well with that that piece of glass that I told you about that we're putting in front of the lens. So all of everything on this side that you can see how it's all kind of blurred out and hazed, that is because of that glass. We're just very subtly putting it in front of the lens, creating that look, and so it's just kind of making this really dreamy look that's really nice. Of course, we've got the nice blue daylight hitting our talent here on the back of her neck, even on this side of her face. Just really pretty how soft this is. And then, of course, a little bit harsher, though still somewhat soft, that warm window light kind of coming through and hitting this. Okay, so very simple scene. There's not a lot going on here. Like I mentioned already in this scene, we've basically got one light set up in a window, coming through, hitting our talent like this, creating this really nice dynamic look. And basically what you can take away from this is that sometimes the best way to light a scene is really just to use the natural light that you have available to you and look at that natural light, see what it's doing, and then add light depending on what you want the scene to look like. And so rather than keeping the scene completely blue, like we could have with the blue hour, instead we thought about, well, where would some other light coming from? How can we create some complementary colors that are contrasting there that look really nice? Those kinds of things that we're thinking about. And so I came in and said, well, naturally there might be some light coming through the window, and so we've recreated that light in order to have it coming through the window. Anyway, there's a quick breakdown for you of one scene. We'll have more coming for you later. I hope that was helpful for you. If you are interested in learning more about lighting, I do have a course that's on sale right now called Lighting Secrets. So feel free to check that out. I'll put a link to that in the description below. And we'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.